It is my pleasure to welcome everyone to the celebration of faculty excellence. For those who do not know me, my name is Sarah Toomey, Dean of Education and Professional Learning, and we are very excited to be here to recognize the achievements of our remarkable faculty, both as teachers and researchers. It is now my pleasure to introduce our educational developer for Indigenous pedagogy, Mitch Huguenin, to acknowledge the land on which we gather.
Greetings, everyone. I'd like to make a few acknowledgements before we get started. As an uninvited visitor in this region, a member of the Métis community and a proud descendant of the half-breeds of Penetanguishene, I'd like to take this moment to acknowledge that we're gathered here in the traditional and treaty territory of the Michisagi Anishinaabe. I believe that it is our collective responsibility to work toward honoring the stewardship that the Michisagi people have been so committed to for many, many generations. I believe it is also our responsibility to carry out our work in a good way and to contribute in one way or another to that continued stewardship of the land. I'd like to offer the Michisagi people my gratitude for their care for and teachings about this land that we call Ngojunong, or Peterborough, where Trent University is located. And like my ancestors who undoubtedly voyageured in this territory, I would like to say that I will continue to do what I can to bridge cultural gaps and advance positive relationships between all of our peoples. As we come together to celebrate teaching excellence today, let us commit ourselves to learning from those Indigenous educators and those first teachers who continue to offer us valuable lessons. Marcy Chimigwech. Thank you very much.
The celebration of excellence is a culmination of a year-long collaborative effort, which begins with students, faculty, and staff devoting time and effort to write and submit nominations, describing the outstanding contributions their professors have made and how faculty continue to develop and inspire their field. The nominations are then compiled, reviewed, and scored by committee members, and upon completion of the deliberation meetings, the Office of Research and Innovation and the Centre of Teaching and Learning work together to prepare for today's opportunity to recognize the excellence among our Trent faculty. It is now my pleasure to introduce my co-host for this event, Fergal O'Hagan, Associate Dean of Teaching and Learning.
Hey. Not Jimmy Fallon, right? Thanks, Sarah. So it's wonderful to be sharing the responsibility of hosting this event with you. And it's inspiring to see the number of nominations that arrive each year in support of our faculty, literally hundreds. This caliber of those nominations for both teaching and research speak volumes about the quality of our institution. It's humbling to recognize the ongoing commitment of our faculty shares to teaching and research. Before we begin our ceremony, I'd like to take a moment to acknowledge Dr. Wesley Burr, who designed and developed a system called CTL Tools, which was created to produce the Symons nomination package for the committee. Then the hope is to build other tools in the future, all of which will support the mission and mandate of CTL. A special thanks also extends to Wesley's students, Alex, Roxana, and Robin, for their contributions. Catherine has kept me on a tight leash here, so there'll be no humor other than that. Don't clap.
Thank you, Fergal. So we are privileged to be able to share in such a special occasion and honor our esteemed faculty for all of their contributions to teaching and research. In the classroom and online, our faculty consistently strive to ensure the academic and professional success of our students, and they create courses that encourage learning, challenge thinking, and allow our students to thrive. Our faculty continue to innovate and creatively define and develop their fields. And it is astounding to see all the incredible research being conducted here at Trent. And it's my pleasure to be able to recognize the contributions made by our researchers. I would like to welcome Dr. Sanela Martique, member of the Board of Governors and Associate Professor, Forensic Science, who will introduce the 2024 Early Career Researcher Award.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Now for a first joke of the day. No jokes, okay. Thank you so much. Now we have the pleasure of acknowledging the remarkable achievements of our early career researchers through the Trent University Early Career Researcher Award. The Early Career Researcher Award holds a special place in our institution's heart as it embodies our commitment to fostering innovation, excellence, and growth within our academic research community. Since its inception in 2021, the award has been a beacon of recognition and encouragement and support for our promising early career researchers. It serves as a testament to our unwavering dedication to nurturing talent and providing the necessary resources to our researchers to thrive and establish sustainable research programs. Over the past 3 years, we have witnessed transformative impact of this award on the recipients and their research endeavors. It has not only provided them with the financial support required for their work, but also instilled a sense of confidence and motivation to push the boundaries of knowledge and make meaningful contributions to their respective fields. The reception of this award has been nothing short of excellent and exceptional, reflecting the dedication and passion of our researchers and the invaluable support of our university community to them. It is a testament to the vibrant research culture that thrives within our institution and the boundless potential that lies within our early career researchers. So today, as we gather to honor the recipients of this esteemed award, let us not only celebrate their achievements, but also reaffirm our commitment to them to nurturing a vibrant research ecosystem at Trent University. Together, let us continue to inspire, empower, and support our early career researchers as they strive to push the boundaries of knowledge and innovation. A thank you to the researchers for sure. Now, I would like to welcome our Dean of Science, Dr. Holger Hintelmann, who will present the very first 2024 Early Career Research Award. Thank you.
Right, thank you, Sanela. Yes, I'm very pleased today, my pleasure to present the Early Career Research Awards along with my colleagues Dr. Mark Skinner and Dr. Wenying Fang. And I'm particularly honored to announce our first recipient of the 2024 Early Career Research Award, Dr. Carlo Braddock. Yeah, well deserved, well deserved. Dr. Carlo Braddock is an assistant professor in the physics and astronomy department, and he arrived here at Trent 4 years ago in 2020, at the middle of our COVID pandemic, so probably a challenging start. Nevertheless, his research focuses on quantum optical materials with a special interest in using diamond and other materials for quantum sensing and biotechnologies. Dr. Braddock's research is broad and encompasses both collaborative projects with international partners all over the world, as well as local projects, and involves both master's and undergraduate students at Trent University. In his first year, he already secured a significant NSERC discovery grant, as well as a CFI equipment funding to go on with his start his research here at Trent. He has further received a merit award for research and has been nominated for 2 provincial early research awards as well. Since being at Trent, Dr. Braddock has already published more than 15 papers, several of them in really top-tier journals of our field, including Nature Communication, Nature Materials, and other very prestigious outlets. In total, his articles have been cited over 3,700 times, and his H index is 28, H index being a measure of citation frequency in his field. And this H index of 25 is actually quite remarkable for an early career researcher. So in a relatively short period of time, Carlo has established an independent research program at Trent University, created a productive lab, and is mentoring graduate and undergraduate thesis students. So congratulations, Dr. Braddock, and I would like to invite you now to come up and make a few rewards.
Thank you, everyone. As Holger has said, I came here in August 2020, just in the middle of the pandemic. And so setting up a lab has been extremely challenging, and a research program has been extremely challenging. So I am a physicist and an experimentalist. So that means that I think about stuff, and sometimes I walk down the lab and I set up some experiments, hoping that whatever I thought about was not complete nonsense. And hopefully sometimes I learn something about the nature of the universe. When you cannot even enter the building, this is extremely difficult, right? And also during the pandemic, every piece of equipment went out in price 2 or 3 times, which was extremely difficult. However, I learned a couple of lessons in this. So the first one is collaborating is really important. Sometimes you might have the idea and not the equipment, and so you call up a colleague and say, hey, can you do it? And sometimes they can, or vice versa. Sometimes you have the equipment and they have the idea, right? And the second lesson that I've learned is that limit can be opportunities. And so this gave me the courage to start a new field of research that 4 years ago I knew nothing about, and now I'm actually doing it. So I want to thank everybody who nominated me for this, those who selected me, because this award is really meaningful to me. Thank you very much.
Thank you, and congratulations, Carlo. I would now like to welcome Dr. Mark Skinner, Dean of Humanities and Social Sciences, who will present the next 2024 Early Career Researcher Award.
Thank you, Virgil.
Applause.
I think the no humor was directed to me.
I was thinking about you.
So I'm truly delighted to present our second 2024 Early Career Research Award this afternoon to Dr. Jackson Pind. Dr. Jackson Pind is the assistant professor in the Cheney Wenjack School for Indigenous Studies, where his expertise in Indigenous methodologies and groundbreaking research on the history of Indian day schools has become an invaluable part of the Cheney Wenjack School's national leadership in Indigenous resurgence and reconciliation. Dr. Pind joined Trent University in 2022, so a little bit further into the pandemic situation, after holding the inaugural postdoctoral fellow in Indigenous education at Queen's University, where he also was awarded the Canadian History of Education Dissertation Prize for his PhD research on Indian day schools in Mississauga, Anishinaabeg territory in partnership with Curve Lake First Nation. As one of Trent's new faculty members, Dr. Pind has quickly established a strong foundation for his innovative research program that expands our understanding of a two-wide-seeing approach, intertwining Canadian history and Indigenous oral history. Since joining Trent, Dr. Pind has secured funding from the National Centre for Truth and Reconciliation as well as successive internal and external SSHRC grants. He's produced 9 academic publications in leading education journals and edited books, and currently has a monograph forthcoming with McGill University Press. With a commitment to community-engaged scholarship, which I think is one of Trent's strongest values, Dr. Pinn's research also emphasized public knowledge mobilization. His articles in The Conversation, for example, have garnered over 40,000 reads, and his collaborative research website, indiandayschools.org, is used widely for education and research throughout Canada and internationally. In acknowledgement of his emerging research expertise, Dr. Pinn was invited to author the definitive entry on Indian day schools for the Canadian Encyclopedia, and he has been appointed to the editorial board of the Canadian Journal of Indigenous Studies. Closer to home, as a member of the next generation of leadership in the Cheney Wenjack School, Dr. Pinn has had the privilege to introduce the Indigenous Traditional Honor Song performed for graduating classes at Trent University's convocations. Miigwech Jackson, for your inspiring contributions, and congratulations on the Early Career Research Award. I'd now like to invite you to make some remarks after a photo.
These up a little. Miigwech for this honor and for hosting this event. I know a lot of people make this happen, and really no research happens alone, so I have so many people to thank, and hopefully I don't miss too many people, but I'd like to start with thanking the nominators, Jennifer McDonald from the University of Regina, who wrote a letter in my name in support, as well as Jack Hogarth, who's the chair of Anishinaabe Acknowledge. He's also up there, I think, taking a photo, recording, Onion, Miigwech. I also like to thank the whole Cheney Wenjack School for their support, including the former director, David Newhouse, for all of his mentorship and guidance, as well as Paula Sherman and Chris Fergal as well for protecting my time as much as they can. As I said, research is really important to Indigenous peoples. We really think it's our way forward and on the pathway to reconciliation, and that relationships are really the most fundamental. So I also have to thank the GIMA of Curve Lake First Nation, Keith Knott, and the former GIMA, or the alumni of Trent University, Emily Beatung, who has made all the research that I've done at Curve Lake possible, as well as like to thank the communities of Peguis First Nation and Kettle and Stony Point First Nation, who have made also this research happen in their community. So a lot of my research, unfortunately, has to deal with some of the worst parts of Canadian history, particularly the treatment of Indigenous children by the government and churches within the Indian day school system. And this includes the Curve Lake Indian Day School that operated until the 1970s, just 15 kilometers down the highway. So it does feel strange in some ways to celebrate this award while at the same time recognizing the pain and trauma that we have endured to make this possible. But through my research and really the relationships here I've gained at Trent, I've learned about how the Anishinaabe, specifically to this region, still protect our most ecologically significant regions in the country, and how we're reclaiming our ceremonies from birth to death, and how we have really resisted these efforts of colonialism every step of the way, and can be now nominated for these types of awards. And when I was hired, I was lucky to have Dr. Nicole Bell come into one of my classes, and she told me that after that class that I was the first tenure-track research-focused professor from the Mississauga Anishinaabe, and after the passing of Doug Williams-Bond, the only one from our territory who could still teach and research here at that time. And she said not to feel pressure because of that, but to use it actually to inspire you to do good work and to hopefully open the door for others behind you, and really saying that our ancestors are always with us. And I'm really happy now, 10 months later, we have another Mississauga Anishinaabe, and more are on the way, I know for sure. And we like telling stories in Indigenous research. I'll just tell one more, really about how this research is impacting people. So after getting to Trent, I officially launched our team's research website, which was www.indiandayschools.org, if you want to check it out, a little plug there, which shows how our research is telling this history for education purposes. And as Mark has said, over 30,000 people have used our website and downloaded over 1.5 terabytes of data from approximately 1 million pages of historical archives from the Library and Archives Canada. And creating this website was important for the public, but it's also been very important for students as well. Earlier this year, a student in Dig 1001 used our website and map to learn more about her own community of Wada Mohawk territory. And she examined the files from the Indian Day School in Gibson, of what it was called at the time, and came across a letter written by her great-grandmother to the Department of Indian Affairs in 1912. And in this 3-page letter, her grandmother demanded that an Indigenous teacher be hired, that her children would not be transferred to the Mohawk Institute or residential school, and sadly, the government and church did not listen to her pleas, but this letter, found over 112 years later, showed her descendants the truth that was kept hidden from them, that her grandmother and people have resisted Western education and did everything possible to prevent the government from taking their youth. The student wanted me to share that story as it helped fill in the missing part of her own identity that she knew was missing but didn't have any historical research to support. This type of research does not always have the best metrics or research publications, but it does create a transformative impact for Indigenous students. A final thank you just to my family and especially to my partner who is 5 months pregnant and couldn't make it today, but I'm thinking of her. I know she's watching on Zoom. I'm really grateful for this opportunity, and as we say in the Indigenous Studies Department, you really want to keep this short if Dan Long votes after you, as he'll always say something nice. So, miigwech. Thank you.
Thank you, Jackson, and congratulations. Next, I'd like to welcome Dr. Wenying Feng, Associate Dean, Trent University Durham GTA campus, who will present the next 2024 Early Career Researcher Award.
Thank you for the introduction. So our next Earlier Research Award actually is the newest of the 3 Earlier Research Awards. She just came to our campus as a faculty member last year in August 2023. But what she has done, when I read this, is really not enough for 1 page. So probably my presentation probably is the longest of the 3. Anyhow, I try to say something about what she has done so far, just in less than 1 year, a few months at Trent Durham campus. Okay, so hello everyone. I'm delighted to present our 3rd 2024 Earlier Career Research Award to this afternoon to Dr. Riherli Sayadi. And Dr. Riherli Sayadi is assistant professor in the psychology department at the Trent Durham GTA campus, arriving, as I just said, at Trent in August 2023. And her research explores how scenery, cognitive, and social factors interact to influence everyday activities of both healthy and clinical populations. And her work, some of them focus on cognitive aging, dementia, language and memory, multi-sensory integration, human-computer interaction, and technology-based interventions. And she has developed an innovative multimodal virtual reality intervention for persons with dementia and their caregivers. As her nominators highlight, these VR experiences can provide a powerful scaffold for community interaction, which help to mitigate the negative effect of dementia. And Dr. Sayadi was appointed as an affiliate scientist at the CUPE, Toronto Rehabilitation Institute, and University Health Network, just less than a month after she joined Trent University. And she was a selected participant at the Global Royal Society G7 Research Summit on Healthy Aging. Riherli received the Trent Internal Grant, the Research Development Grant from the last 2024 winter competition, and during her 6 months as a tenure track assistant professor, she has applied for 5 more grants as a principal investigator. These grants NSERC Discovery Grant, NSERC RTI, SHIRK IDG, Asmeya Society's New Investigator Grant, and CFI. And in addition, 2 more as a co-applicant. These are SHIRK IG and SHIRK PDG. And during her career, Dr. Sayadi has had 9 first-authored peer-reviewed journal publications, and also plus 7 conference papers, and also collaborated on a book, and a few more papers submitted or in preparation. She also completed preparing a new course, establishing her research lab, which I had the chance to and visit her research lab one day, and which already have 5 students in her lab. She has presented at 2 international conferences representing Trent at the G7 Royal Society Summit on Aging, and organizing the first TCAS Aging and Dementia Research Day at the Durham GTA campus, as well as other services and research activities, such as establishing collaborations with researchers at Trent University and UCLA and Utrecht University in the Netherlands, and maintaining collaborations with colleagues at York University, New York University, and Bakerett. And okay, so after all, I'm sure she has done more than this. Unfortunately, I do not have more time to, to present her work. Congratulations to Dr. Saradi, and I would like to invite you to make a few remarks.
Hi, everyone. Thank you, Wendy. So the last time I received an award on this campus was actually during my undergraduate convocation ceremony where I won the Symons Medal. So being back here within my first year and winning the Early Career Research Award is extra special. Trent is where I first learned about research. This is where I learned to love research. I was really fortunate as an undergraduate student to get opportunities to work on a number of research projects. I worked with Ben Bauer, Fergal, and my undergrad supervisor, which I'm really thankful to, and Dr. Nancy Bolter. So all my professors who really, really taught me what research is and really encouraged me and really kind of pushed me to go to grad school. Thanks them, and now they are my colleagues. So this is really extra special. So I want to especially thank all my advisors, including Nancy, but as well as my PhD advisor, Dr. Craig Chambers at the University of Toronto, my postdoc advisor, Dr. Nancy Bolter, my postdoc advisor, Dr. Jennifer Campos at Toronto Rehab. But I also really want to thank all the students who have worked on my projects for years. Without, it takes a large team to run aging research, especially community-based and clinical research. And none of this work would have been possible without all the grad and undergrad students who have worked on the projects with me over the years. I especially want to thank all the family members, all the community partners. I do very person-centered research, so when I design studies from the beginning, I am engaged with older adult advisory groups and community partners who advise on how the research should be done. And I really wouldn't have been able to, especially with the clinical work, do what I have been doing without their help. My participants, all the older adults, their caregivers, it's really, it's different when you do aging research, but I'm very used to, I was a very quantitative researcher, researcher before I started my postdoc, and now I'm more of a kind of a mixed methods and do a lot of qualitative research. But when you hear the impact of your research, especially when you hear from the caregivers what it makes a difference in the day-to-day life of older adults living with dementia, you know that your work has made an impact, and that to me has always meant a little more than the publications. But I do want to end with I'm really glad that I'm back here, back home, and I'm really excited to continue doing my aging research, and I'm also very excited to be part of the Trent Centre for Aging and Society, and I'm sure that together we are going to make a difference in improving quality of life of older adults. And last but not least, I want to thank my nominators and the committee for selecting me. Thank you.
Well, thank you, Rahile, and congratulations to our very worthy and inspiring recipients. I would now like to welcome Dr. Michael Kahn, Trent's Professor and Vice President Academic, who will be presenting the Award for Educational Leadership and Innovation.
Good afternoon, and thank you, Sarah. And it's certainly wonderful to hear about the remarkable achievements of our early career researchers. I'm going to present an award to somebody on the other side of their career now. Somebody, but that person still has the enthusiasm and passion as they did so many years ago when they first joined Trent. It's my great pleasure to present the Award for Educational Leadership and Innovation. Great universities are made up of the most esteemed professors and staff, innovative programming, and vibrant learning spaces that stimulate our imagination. And of course, as our Indigenous friends would always say, with good humor. This award recognizes faculty and staff who have distinguished themselves through their educational leadership, teaching, innovation, and successful communication. I could not be more pleased to announce this year's recipient, Dr. Dan He Clears the Sky Longboat. As an associate professor for the Cheney Wenjack School of Indigenous Studies and director of Indigenous Environmental Studies and Sciences program, Dan has made an outstanding contribution to Trent and the wider community. Along with creating the first IESS undergrad degree, Dan is recognized for developing the IES program academics governance and structure, founding the Trent Aboriginal Culture, Knowledge and Sciences program, developing a variety of innovative and cross-disciplinary undergrad IESS foundational courses, co-founding the Trent Indigenous Environmental Institute, and presenting at numerous keynote and academic and Indigenous conferences. Dan is to be commended for his desire and ability to design spaces where Indigenous knowledges and Western sciences interact and collaborate. He has been a champion for student success, creating learning communities that inspire a safe and supportive environment for our students. Congratulations, Dan. I could not know a more positive person. Congratulations again, and if you could come up to make a few remarks.
Well, thank you, Michael, for that, Nyao, and thank you to all of you for coming today. It's kind of a real surprise for me to receive this, so I wanted to, thank the Center for Teaching and Learning. Thank you to Fergal and the committee for selecting, but more specifically, thank you to the nominators that were able to provide, support for me. Really, nothing is more important and nothing is more rewarding than to have the recognition and the respect and the support of your colleagues and peers. To see, faculty, staff, and students able to recognize the work that you do and to provide that support, is really endearing to all of us as members of the faculty here and as members of the Trent family. One of the, astounding things to me, as as an undergraduate here. So I was in what they call the Indian and Eskimo Studies program way back in 1973. I came here, in September, and I still remember being dropped off by my friends. Again, coming here and having the opportunity to go on to university. And as Jackson had mentioned earlier around his research on Indian Day School, I'm a survivor of Indian Day School. I'm from Six Nations. And to see, the opportunity that was presented here, as a university degree, it was really, my sister and I were one of the first in our family to be able to achieve the work that we have. To be able to go to university and then to go on to do graduate work, was tremendous. And to be able to look back, at that 6-year-old little boy that walked into Indian Day School way back then that didn't want to go to school, and then seeing, so many years later, so many decades later, what we've been able to achieve, to me is really outstanding and astounding at the same time. And I want to thank, all of the folks that were there supportive of me, in particular my late mother and my great teacher, the late Jake Thomas. They were instrumental in being able to, provide sort of a foundation for our work and for our way of thinking. And in particular, having the opportunity, to come to school in those early years and to see the development of Indigenous education and to see, the commitment that many of our teachers and faculty members had moving on, and doing work as I progressed through my career and having the opportunity to work at the Ontario Ministry of Natural Resources. I don't know whether that's a curse or an opportunity, but looking at that as a foundation and moving forward and developing this Indigenous Environmental Studies and Sciences program, was to me a really unique opportunity that addressed the need to recognize, to be of service, to recognize the need to address the issues that were impacting First Nations communities. Little did we know that in that development of that process, and again, that was a team effort of many people coming together, and in particular, my good friend Henry Lickers, who is a graduate here in the biology department, and he's a Seneca from Six Nations as well, went on to develop the Akwesasne Environmental Task Force and the Environmental Department in Akwesasne. Worked with me, to develop the IESS program, and I got to, make note of that from that early time in the late '90s all the way to now. We're getting ready to celebrate next year we'll be celebrating our 25th anniversary of the development of the program. But I could tell you right now that we weren't able to do that work without the support of Trent Senior Administration, with presidents, the provost, and also the deans, to offer opportunities to us, as well as working directly with program and the departmental chairs, in particular Michael Fox and David Newhouse, who were instrumental in helping to develop our programming. And as we move forward, to see, the colleagues that we were able to develop and the partnerships that we were able to develop, to see Chris Fergal and Barb Wall come on board with us, and then many of the instructors that we've had over the numbers of years, in particular James Wilkes, and to see his work, and Jane Gray, to really have an opportunity to excel. And this platform that we call Trent University really provided a foundational, trajectory for us to be able to achieve the things that we've been able to achieve. And I'm so thankful, not only to be a graduate from here, but to be a faculty member here as well. To have so many, and when we talk about the Trent family, we're not just talking about that in just nice terms. We're talking about that as part of our reality. Because no matter where you go across the country, and as I'm getting older now, and seeing this process, and having the opportunity to be kind of at the forefront of Indigenous education, when you travel across the country and you see Trent grads, in every aspect of Canadian society and international society as well, to see the impacts that this little small university has made, on the world, it'll make you cry, just like it'll make me cry. So I want to thank all of you again for coming here, and thank you, for the opportunity. Thank you to the committee and to the center for, awarding me this. And I was starting to feel like I started teaching here in 1995. David Newhouse asked me to come and teach way back then. I said, no, I'm not a teacher. I don't really want to do it. And he said, Jake Thomas needs some help. It's his last years, and can you help him? So I came back in and helped Jake, and stayed ever since that time. So I've been teaching since 1995. And pretty well every year, I've been nominated for one teaching award or another. So I was starting to feel like Susan Lucci. For those of you that know Susan Lucci. For those of you that don't, then look it up. She's a soap opera star. So, I think I got her beat. So I think nearly after 30 years, I can say, thank you to all of you again for the award. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Dan Miklech. Very powerful. It's now my pleasure to introduce Lillian Chumley, one of our talented e-learning designers, to present the 2024 Award for Excellence in Online Teaching.
Thanks, Virgo. A little short here. It is an honor for me to be able to present the Award for Excellence in Online Teaching to Elsa Marie Knutson. She's an assistant professor in the Department of Sociology. This award recognizes instructors who have demonstrated a passion for and a commitment to online learning and teaching, and who have implemented effective approaches to fostering active learning and student involvement. In the nomination, students commend Professor Knutson for her continuous and unwavering support and encouragement as she goes above and beyond to ensure their understanding of complex issues and topics and often sensitive content. Dr. Knutson's captivating and dynamic style supports students as they engage in the course content through innovative and creative activities. Dr. Knutson approaches online education with the whole student in mind, actively seeking support for their well-being and academic performance through engaging and thoughtful activities. She's passionate about online education, and Dr. Knutson inspires both students and instructors and the Trent Online staff with her organized, creative, and engaging online courses. They are really something to check out if you have a chance. At this time, I would like to invite Dr. Knutson to make some remarks.
Hi, everyone. Thanks so much. And thanks, Lillian. Okay, I scribbled a few things here. It's like being at the Academy Awards. Thank you so much for this. It's really a neat year for me to be receiving this because I was on contract in the Department of Social Work for many years as our very small and very new department has grown and changed and innovated. And this year I was converted over to tenure track, and it really feels like I've now been able to kind of put roots in and make Trent my home in a way that I didn't realize I hadn't been doing as deeply before, and that's a really special thing. I have had such an exciting experience teaching at Trent. Coming in, this is my second career after working as a social worker and policy analyst in the past, to come in to this new career and try all the challenging things of being a new university instructor. There's a lot of precarity, a lot of chaos, and a lot of exciting creativity involved in that. And so this has been a wonderful place to do it. Because I get to, as an instructor of social work, especially teaching in first-year courses, which is my focus, I get the incredible privilege of introducing students to these mind-blowing concepts of critical thinking and thinking differently about the world that they're seeing. And that's a real honor to be part of, to see when students engage like that deeply. I also rely on my students for their willingness to engage. You know, online teaching can be a really lonely and isolating thing. We sit at the back behind our computer and we miss out on a lot of those sort of incidental elements of teaching, like running into a student in the hall or having a chat during the break. And so trying to find ways to replicate that, those really important moments where students through those moments get to feel engaged and that they're community members in this course and that they're welcome here, we have to work a little harder at. And as an instructor, I have to work a little harder to kind of find my colleagues and find time with them. But luckily, I've had the support of some amazing folks here at Trent who have given me that. So I really need to thank Trent Online and CTL, who have been my colleagues for the last many years in creating online courses. When Trent Online helps you create a course and supports you, it's not just that they hand you a bunch of tech tools and tell you how to do things or give you a set of boundaries. The first time I did this in a really meaningful way was when I worked with Terry Green, who's over there and has been one of my most important colleagues in teaching, and certainly online teaching in particular. It means that I got to sit with Terry and have those conversations that we don't get a lot of time and space to have, like, what are we really doing here, and you know, what kind of problems do we want to solve, and not just think sort of defensively, but and that kind of whack-a-mole approach to teaching that so many of us fall into, but rather think big and innovative and exciting and liberatory, as Terry would say. And so it's been really, really exciting to engage in that. Think big and think different, and CTL and Trent Online have given me a lot of room to put big ideas I had into action by sort of helping me marry that with the tool. So it's been really exciting. It does mean that not everything works and some things clunk, and that's what happens. So I also appreciate all the good humor of my students and my colleagues to sort of have a laugh and help me fix stuff when it doesn't always go off the first time. So my thanks to Trent Online, my thanks to my colleagues in social work who give me a lot of leeway with the online and the first year courses. So I'm thinking of my director, Marina Morgenstern in particular, who I'm so grateful to work with. And I want to thank my family, who's all sitting up there, my parents and my 9-year-old Edda, who have had to sort of tolerate and help me manage all of she's waving big, all of the, you know, the ups and downs of teaching, especially during COVID, which meant, you know, if I got a 7:30 class, that meant, you know, my mom came in to help, and I got pizza for supper, and we made it work. So I really, really appreciate all of your support in this strange new career I found myself in. And I'm so excited to see where the next parts of my learning journey here and teaching journey here at Trent take me. Thank you.
Thank you, Lise. It is now my pleasure to welcome Dr. Brent Ryan Bellamy, CUPE 3908 Vice President, Unit 1, a sessional faculty member, Cultural Studies, to present the CUPE 3908-1 Award for Excellence in Teaching.
This is a full room. When you're in the front row, you can see the people in front of you. Hi, everyone. It's my great pleasure to present the 2024 CUPE 3908-1 Award for Excellence in Teaching to Sarah Ebaid. The award recognizes contract faculty who have a strong, positive impact on students' learning. Sarah Ebaid, a course instructor in Child and Youth Studies, is valued for her approachable nature and ability to maintain a safe and inclusive environment, even while discussing difficult topics. She approaches classroom discussions with care and sensitivity and promotes respect by welcoming and celebrating diverse perspectives. Passionate about education, she is recognized for a student-centered approach to teaching in which she seeks to support the whole student by creating thoughtful and engaging lessons and assignments and a dynamic and supportive classroom environment. Deeply committed to student mentorship and success, she actively supports students with academic pathways and professional growth. She consistently goes above and beyond and provides enduring encouragement and guidance. Both students and staff recognized Sarah for her kindness, calm demeanor, and dedication. Congratulations, Sarah. At this time, I would like to invite Sarah Ebate to make some remarks.
I think it might be too short. I'm truly humbled and honored to be this year's recipient of the CUPE Award for Excellence in Teaching. I would like to take a moment to express my gratitude to my colleagues whose unwavering support and mentorship have played an instrumental role in shaping me into the educator I am today. To Dr. Alba Agostino, I am deeply grateful for the opportunities you have provided me with throughout my teaching journey. You have allowed me the freedom to infuse creativity into my teaching while offering invaluable guidance and support. Your empathy, collaborative spirit, and unwavering dedication to student success have inspired me to be the best educator I can be. You are not only an outstanding educator, but you are also an exceptional leader. To Dr. Christine Goodwin DeFeria, you have also been an amazing supporter, mentor, and friend. You've had a profound impact on my approach to teaching. Your dedication, passion, and commitment to fostering an engaging learning environment have been a constant source of inspiration. Your support has been nothing short of invaluable to me. I am deeply appreciative of the support from all of our faculty in the Child and Youth Studies Department. Each member of our team exemplifies a genuine passion for nurturing student growth and success. To my students, I would like to express my heartfelt gratitude for your enthusiasm and passion for learning. It has been an absolute pleasure to teach such compassionate, intelligent, and resilient students. Once again, thank you from the bottom of my heart for this honor.
Thank you, Sarah, and our congratulations. I was looking to see if there's a relationship between memory aids and sort of generational relationship between memory aids, because I saw Brent and Jackson up with their iPhones, but I'm not quite sure. Yeah, maybe the aging people can help here. Our next award is for Excellence in Teaching Assistants, and I'd like to welcome Dr. Craig Brunetti, Dean for the School of Graduate Studies, and William Kim, our 2023 award recipient, to present this award.
Going old school here. Thanks. So it's my pleasure to present the award for Excellence in Teaching Assistants. This award recognizes teaching assistants who excel at encouraging learning in workshops, tutorials, seminars, labs, and field settings. Connor Leschner, a PhD student and teaching assistant in psychology, is championed for his ability and aspiration to connect with and to support his students throughout the duration of the course and beyond. Deeply dedicated to the subject matter, Mr. Leschner is recognized for his passion and insight and valued for his empathy, compassion, and kindness.
I don't know if I could beat Craig on that. Connor Leschner's dedication to student success is epitomized in how well he gets to know his students with intentionality of providing them with the necessary tools for success. Mr. Leshner supports students' learning by consistently providing thorough, detailed, and constructive feedback and taking the time to explain difficult concepts in an easy-to-follow manner. I personally want to thank Connor for taking his time to dedicate his time towards the students, who in which will become the new leaders of the following years. At this time, I would like to invite Connor Leshner to make a few remarks.
Phone. First off, thank you for putting the short people back to back. I appreciate it. I'd like to thank the professor for the course, Ryan Cacchetto, course demonstrators Linda Ward and Daniel McCallum, as well as my supervisor, Michael Chan Reynolds, my partner, Maya Pereira, as well as all of my nominators, without whom I wouldn't have had anyone to teach. I'd also like to thank the Center for Teaching and Learning, as well as the Senate Subcommittee on Teaching and Learning for providing this award and for giving me this opportunity to speak in front of you today. I'd like to spend my time talking about my inspiration for my desire to teach and to be in this position, Dr. Leona Aiken, who is one of my professors in my undergrad. For background, Leona Aiken is a stellar academic with over 145,000 citations at the time I wrote this speech, as well as if you've ever performed a regression or an interaction in statistics, you can have her to thank for writing the book on it. She taught my third year stats course, which is ironically the course that I was the TA for winning this award. And I started out that course by bombing the first test. I went to her office hours, and she took me through every single item on the test, and then when we had gone through it, she asked me if I felt comfortable with the material. I said yes. She proceeded by handing me a blank exam and said, okay, do it again. And then she took the average of the two tests. I did pass the class. A year later, when I was no longer her student, I was telling her that I was applying for grad school, and despite being the busy, stellar academic that she was, she took 3 hours of her time that day to sit me down and go line by line through my personal statement, making sure that it was edited and prepared for submission. I think it's fair to say that I wouldn't be here today if it wasn't for her. She still monitors her university email, despite being retired at this point, and I told her after the news of me winning this award broke, that I won this award, and I'd like to conclude my speech by reciting, with permission, the email she sent back. Bravo, 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 etc. You are doing so beautifully in your academic journey. Stats class - a star. I am so happy to hear from you of your progress and your accolades. You are a gift to me, a teacher who rejoices in the progress of her students. I think that this is the goal for teaching, so bravo again, and thank you for keeping me informed. I hope that in winning this award and hopefully future teaching awards to come, that I can be a fraction for the students that are under me of what Leona Aiken was for me. Thank you.
Congratulations, Connor, and for sharing such meaningful reflections and insights. And I would now like to welcome Dr. Elizabeth Russell, 2023 Symons Award recipient and Associate Professor of Psychology, and Deborah Cooper-Berger, Chair of the Trent Board of Governors, who will present the Symons Award for Excellence in Teaching.
Thank you so much. I'm thrilled to be here today. Today I have the pleasure of presenting the Symons Award for Excellence in Teaching, which is considered Trent's highest teaching award. Teaching excellence encompasses a variety of constructs, but one of the most important aspects to consider is the impression educators leave on their students, as we just heard. Here at Trent, we pride ourselves in the fact that our faculty care so much about students' academic journeys. Our professors are passionate, committed, and motivated to support deep and meaningful learning experiences. The Symons Award, developed from the legacy of Dr. Tom Symons, celebrates faculty who show exemplary care for students by developing supportive environments which motivate and inspire them and challenge them to do their best. It is such an honor to be able to recognize these attributes throughout our Trent faculty each year. So for that reason, I'm thrilled to award this year's Symons Award for Excellence in Teaching to my friend and colleague and a mentor of mine, someone whose mentorship, compassion, and innovation inspires her students throughout their academic careers, who's Dr. Laura Sommerfeld. Laura Sommerfeld, a professor in the Department of Psychology, is championed for her passion and motivation of students within the classroom and beyond. With great skill and care, Dr. Sommerfeld structures and scaffolds her classes in a manner that supports discussion and exploration while seamlessly integrating teaching strategies that are largely student-led. As described by one nominator, watching her in this context has been an incredible opportunity for me, as she has a masterful ability to direct, consider, and respond and challenge and inspire learning, all fluidly and in real time, despite often being in situations that lack the safety and predictability of highly structured lesson plans. By fostering a growth mindset, Dr. Sommerfeld is able to encourage risk-taking in a safe and structured environment, offering students the opportunity to engage in critical moments of self-discovery, a theme I think we've heard a lot today so far. As a nominator described, Dr. Sommerfeld tactfully inspires students to venture beyond their comfort zones, encouraging the development of new skills and instilling greater confidence in their academic pursuits. Deeply dedicated to student success, Dr. Sommerfeld is valued for her leadership, ability to inspire confidence, continuous support, and genuine care, and we're so lucky to have her in the psychology department. At this time, we would like to invite Professor Sommerfeld to make some remarks.
Thank you. Okay, I gotta line this up. I'm truly surprised and very honored to receive this award this year, and very moved by the kind words of the students who nominated me, some of whom I suspect are up there in that row. Trent is a community full of skilled, dedicated, passionate educators and mentors. There's lots of us here, so it's really special to be singled out this year. I'm grateful and reminded to be so even more with this award, to be connected to the vision and legacy of Professor Tom Symons, who saw our Trent as a unique place for interaction, for interpersonal connection, and a deep sense of community, with the goal of nurturing students' intellectual growth, or what he usually called self-improvement. So I just want to say that it's just lovely to see that growth in our students and to be part of and witness the transformation in how they think. It happens at many levels. Happens within courses, it happens across the years in scaffolding, and we see it extending beyond graduation, being part of that growth into their careers and their life trajectories. So I'd like to take this opportunity to thank my students for the privilege of sharing in your growth. It really is one of the most fun and energizing parts of my professional life, year in and year out. I'm also grateful to the many people who've shaped how I teach and continue to shape it, not just academic educators and peers and colleagues and collaborators, including among them my partner, Professor James Parker, but to many, many other people, mentors, professional supervisors, music teachers, coaches, all those people in our lives who encourage us to stretch and push us to achieve our potential. I'm still learning how they do what they do so well, and I'm also learning from my students. It's really an ongoing process. So thank you again. This is a deeply meaningful honor, and I appreciate it.
Congratulations, Laura. I would now like to invite Christopher Rooney, Senior Director of the Office of Research and Innovation, to offer some closing remarks.
Thank you, Sarah. We are so lucky to be able to gather today to celebrate the incredible educators and researchers at Trent University. The aim is to help lead students through a terrain of challenging and inspiring ideas, to help them find ways to say what they mean, to help them understand the world that they're inheriting and think about how they can make it better. Trent continues to foster and cultivate excellence in teaching and research that is truly unmatched. When you speak with students about Trent University, one thing that is always mentioned is the dedication of our faculty to student academic success and the commitment to their contribution to their fields of study. Those efforts in the classroom are only part of our mandate, and I'm so glad to be here to celebrate the commitment to research. The ongoing efforts of our faculty to continuously strive to invent, create, develop is astounding. The motivation that our faculty possess is uplifting. It's important for us to celebrate the research being conducted at Trent and recognize the accomplishments of our faculty as their work contributes to our understanding of who we are, what we can do, and who we aim to be. To our recipients, congratulations on your accomplishments. We're fortunate for your passion, your commitment to students' academic and personal growth, your institutional leadership, and your ability to fuel curiosity. Thank you to the teams in the Center for Teaching and Learning and Trent Online and the Office of Research and Innovation for organizing this incredible celebration. And I thank all of you for joining us today as we gather to commemorate the achievements of our colleagues. What an inspiring way to end this academic year. It's wonderful to know that Trent's mission as a teaching and research institution is thriving, and my sincere congratulations to all of you. Please enjoy the reception.
You'll have to hit Kathy up for a pair of green Converse. Hey, before she goes. So this ends the ceremonial portion of our celebration of excellence, and I'd like to give mention to Catherine and Chat, who provided leadership for the event. Their efforts ensured that our event ran smoothly and was a meaningful way to celebrate the astounding achievements of our faculty. I'd also like to shout out to the teams at Trent Online and Center for Teaching and Learning, as well as our media and tech folks for supporting such a great event and ensuring the smooth running. Yeah. Thank you everyone for joining us to celebrate today, and please join us next door in the event space and atrium to further celebrate our recipients. Thanks.
Sorry, if we could ask, I have no